What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time, and today's return of Touhou. I believe this is Touhou 12. I always get confused with how many there are and all the crazy long names. We're going to be listening to, I think this is correct, Undefined Fantastic Object, Fires of Hokkai, from the channel Touhou Forum Tunes, followed by Trojan Green Asteroid, Emotional Skyscraper Cosmic Mind from Mima's Disciple channel. All I got from that was Touhou music. Gonna hear some bits, cool. These are requested by Solid Bullet 066 and Chrysaliszt. Thank you. Well, I heard Touhou not too long ago with the nuclear sun girl, whatever her name was, and that was cool. Touhou's always a fun time, and it's just always a fun time. Let's get into it. We're starting off with Fires of, is it Hokkai? Let's go. Slowest Touhou song ever. Sounds like a Phil Collins song. A little graphic. Oh. It's like a stripped down Touhou sound. Building up, I think. Whoa, dude, this is like... Maybe not for you, but for me, this is so out of left field for Touhou. Nice. Like, I like the variety here. Sounds like an 80s action movie. I could totally see Jean-Claude Van Damme like doing some slow motion kicks here. Yeah, we looped already. I love how fluid the piano is here. Oh, wait a minute. This came with a note. Hold on, before I even say anything. I think this came with a note. Final stage theme of Touhou 12. What? Ooh, that brings some mystery to it. So, mind you, the reason I said it doesn't sound like Touhou is because everything I've heard from Touhou so far, for the most part, like 90% of it has been fast, lots of hi-hats, lots of percussion, and then everything else we heard here. So this was like, whoa, dude, this is trippy because I've said before, I don't know what video I've said it, but I know I've had to have said it because it sounds like something I would say. But I feel like I've said something along the lines of, if you took away the percussion from Touhou, the songs would have this really like emotional, melancholy quality to it, because you're not so focused on the tick 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 tick, you know, which is fine. It's cool. I don't know if Touhou's music is, I don't know if it's been answered, by the way, but I don't know if it's dynamic. I don't know if a lot of songs are like this and then they eventually change to the faster thing, or they eventually go down. I don't know. All I know about this game is that it's a bullet hell and there's a lot of girls. And the trumpets. That's it. And it's fast. This one felt like such a nice emotional change. And the fact that it's a final theme. I mean, usually I don't have context, but the requester left a note. So that brings even more curiosity. I would have never guessed it's final. So now it makes me think, do other Touhous do something special for like the final stage? And now I wonder if the next song is connected. I'm going to look that up too. There's a note for it too. I haven't read it. So this one to me felt like now the emphasis was the piano. Usually it's the zumpet or like the piano's always there, but it's usually much faster. This one felt very legato, felt very smooth. All the piano notes sounded like water to me, just kind of floating around and very dreamlike. Everything was taken down quite a bit, some notches. It was more groove oriented. The drums felt more like, just everything felt more like a dream state, kind of just wandering about. That was just really nice. It was just really nice. Fires, especially with the name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Is it, as of right now, my belief is that the song was called Fires of Hokkai. But if it's called Undefined Fantastic Object, let me know. But I don't think so. I think it's Touhou 12 Undefined Fantastic Object, and then that was Fires of Hokkai. Either way, with a name like that, you know, I really was expecting some more. And I'm not ashamed that it didn't meet expectations. I like my expectations to be shattered, actually, truthfully. But I was just expecting, based on the title, something more bombastic and a lot of choir, maybe, and just maybe even faster than everything ever. But it was the complete opposite. So it felt like more of a slow flame, you know, more of a... I don't know if this actually has to do with fire, which is kind of funny because I'm currently hearing songs that are fire related. I even have a Touhou song that's going to be featured in that fire episode of VGM Vibes 5. That nuclear sun one. This one's not going to be in there. So I don't know if that's if it's just like coincidental timing or if it's just the song name. I don't know, but the whole thing had me a little confused because we had like the cherry blossom flying around. And I don't know. Just the action just kind of slowed down here. I'm so curious. Let me see what the note for the second one says. Emotional Skyscraper Cosmic Mind. This is the final boss theme of 12, but remixed by Zun? Oh. Huh? Wait, what? Remix. So it's his own song, but remixed by himself. Okay, now I have to hear that. So apparently this one is basically what we just heard. This one's a little longer. More loops probably, it's 7 minutes. So let me know why, if it is the same song, I guess we'll find out, why the name change to Emotional Skyscraper Cosmic Mind. Okay. Well, either way, the first song was super beautiful, and I was not expecting that at all. Apparently this is the same theme, but remixed by Zun. This is Emotional Skyscraper Cosmic Mind. That's the sound I'm used to. trying to recognize any motifs. But I just heard that song, so I don't know. Her hair is super long. Emotional. Like the other one. Emotional Skyscraper. But it is. Even if I didn't hear that first one, this one sounds unique too. It seems a little bit more, well, I guess emotional than normal. I'm trying to hear if there's any motifs from the first one I heard, but that song is brand new to me too, so I don't know. I don't recognize anything yet. Zun writes a lot of music, man. He has so many melodies in his head. This is my favorite part right here. That's cool. Oh yeah. This completely tonal shift here. I kind of like this melodic / emotional side of Touhou. With the instrument choices, it works really well. Like here, like it works so well. Sorry I'm not talking a lot, it's just kind of catching me off guard, you know? nice. I feel like this would be a good introduction song to Touhou. But there's so many, you know? Like, what would your choice be? But I feel this would be a cool introduction. For being my first time hearing it, that's kind of an odd statement, but it kind of showcases a lot of what this series can do. There's a lot to follow here. I'm like getting kind of lost in it. Like, to me, if you were to hear this first and you like this, then you would just love everything else. It's a great anyway, Catalyst. Give me 30 seconds to hear this one again. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I between both of those songs, I just heard so many notes, and the one like downside, if I even want to call it a downside, but the one downside of Touhou is where everything sounds so similar. It makes it very hard to distinguish it between certain songs sometimes, unless you're obviously very familiar with the songs and the obviously. But as someone as an outsider, you know, hearing the music only, a lot of it sounds the same, which is totally fine. But in cases like this, it kind of, I don't know if any of these two songs have anything that they share. I have no idea at all. The only thing that even made me think that was the note. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I read this wrong. So the first one, The Fires, was final stage of Touhou 12. This was the final boss theme. Boss theme. Damn. That changes a lot of things. Either way, if there was any recurring motifs or anything, I didn't hear them. At least not this early on. Let me know if there was anything to share there about it. I couldn't hear anything. But that changes a whole lot of things. The final boss? Dude. Both the final stage and the final boss of this, which apparently is a remix, so I don't even know if I've heard the original final boss of Touhou 12. It's hard to keep track of Touhou sometimes. Either way, both of them have such a emotional different stage of sound that I'm used to. I would figure, I don't know how many final boss stuff I've heard from Touhou, if any, but I would just have to assume that it would always be like the fastest, the wildest, you know, take it up to a notch. But it seems like there's a little bit of some layers there, some emotional layers there. To me, the song, both of them had this underlying melancholy feel. Like, I don't know how deep the stories are, so, you know, I don't know how deep the lore is. I don't know if there's a lot of loss loss and death, excuse me. But I would have to imagine if they do go into that territory, this might be what it would sound like. It definitely had a little bit of a conclusion sound as well. And I'm not just saying that because I know it's the final. It, like, just the sound of it has a sort of like wrap up, you know, kind of like the melodies were very telling in that regard. But it just sounded so different to me, like from what I've heard of Touhou. At this point, I don't know. I guess I could find out exactly how many Touhou songs I've heard. Give me a second. I was gonna say I don't know how many Touhou songs I've heard, but I can find out in 2 seconds. Let me see. I have heard. This is my 23rd video. And not all of them have been single songs. Some of them have had 2 songs in them. So let's just say like 25, 26, something. Like let's say it's like 28 Touhou songs I've heard in my life. All here. And out of all those, this one actually stands out. And yet, not in a standout way that I can remember what it sounds like right now. For Touhou to like stick, I need to hear it multiple times because a lot of it does sound similar. But even then, it still stands out in the feel of it. You know, a lot of it has the same sort of energy. It's a bullet hell, right? So, but yeah, these definitely have a like, maybe this is like deeper than I thought. You know, and I'm not trying to like judge a book by its cover, but you know. I've never played a bullet hell, so I just in my mind, this just shows how much I know. In my mind, I figured the story is like not even a big deal. It's just kind of like more of high scores and challenging yourself, that kind of thing. But with this kind of song, it really changes things and the perspective gets a little warped. And now I'm thinking maybe this is more deep than I thought. Then again, it's the 12th game, so, you know, maybe it wasn't always that way. I'm just always so curious when it comes to Touhou, because honestly, Touhou's such a weird thing for me. Never heard about it until the channel, and then even when I got onto the channel, I heard a lot of it right away, early. Like, I got a lot of it back to back. And then it kind of went away, and then it brought back. It's always kind of, like, lingered around here. The community is always like telling me all these like long fun facts and notes. There seems to be, this game just has to have a lot of, for lack of a better word, like fandom. There's a lot of knickknacks. There's a lot of things to know. There's just so many things. And yet it's never, well, actually I don't want to say never because I have no idea, but it doesn't seem like it ever went into like the mainstream success. Like it's just known by people that like know Touhou. I don't know how else to explain it. Like if you know, you know kind of thing. Like if you know video games deep enough, you might have heard of it, but it's always been such a mystery to me. This one guy who apparently drinks a lot of beer, puts trumpets in his, you know, music, and it's such a mystery game to me. And will it ever stop? Have they stopped? Did they venture into other mediums, or has it just been games? Just from this image right here, it says shooting game for Windows XP 2000. So at least that's 24 years. And this is 12. I could be wrong about this, but I think they're on 19. And that's in 2024. So they're not constantly like pumping these out. Just let me know whatever. Let me know your history with Touhou. How did you get into it? How did you hear about it? What was the first one you played? Whatever, just tell me whatever, because I feel like this game is just made for interesting comments and just like the most bizarre fun facts you can imagine. But the only thing I really got from these two was totally different from the other 30 songs I've heard. It's more emotional than the other ones, and I was not expecting that at all, especially with the names. Final boss, huh? Final theme and final boss. That's so interesting to me. But that's Touhou, you know? Never know what to expect. It's like a Jack in the Box. Just do boop. Thank you very much, Solid Bullet 066, who's been most of my requests for this game. So thank you very much, and Chrysaliszt congrats Chrysaliszt for winning the Platinum Random Draw. Okay, let me know more. Still about Touhou. Thank you to all my patrons you see here. I could not be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse. Take it easy.